in this video I have given an idea how to perform basic insertion operation with the use of a .php page and MySQL. So let's just take overview of it. I will give you idea about the HTML controllers, then after the form actions, PHP function with the database connectivity, then after the idea about the SQL query. After that we check about data inserted successfully inside in my database table, and then finally the summary. So let's just start our procedure. Before we write our code, let's just revisit our PHP MyAdmin. What my target is that I am interested to insert the data inside in this particular table which contains 3 rows. The first row contains functionality of a auto increment, so no need to insert the data. In a second column and a third column, when user insert the data, I am interested to place it. So let's just write our PHP programs. To create an insert query, we required 2 PHP page, right? So with the use of a Dreamweaver, first of all you create a 2 PHP page. We discussed step by step why we are using 2 PHP page functionality. In between a body tag of a page 1.php, first of all with the use of a insert menu, place one table. So select table, specify the number of rows and columns. In this program I required 3 rows and 2 columns. So specify the number of columns and then click on the OK button. Now we can see that one table code generated successfully inside in between body opening and closing. So we just shift to the design part. You can see that. Now I want first text box over here, second text box over here, and in one button in this row. Right, so we just write some code. Before, for the user purpose, in a first column I specified some text. Enter first name, then after enter last name. Okay, now we just write some code for the 2 text box and button. So we just shift back to the code part. In a first row, second column, we write our code something like input. We require one text box, so you just set type is equal to text, then specify name and ID. Okay, now we just shift back to the design part. You can see that one text box generated. Okay, now we want another text box, so in the second row, so write another code for this. Input type text, because our second target is also we require one text box, another text box, so specify type as a text, then name, okay. Now in a third row we require one button, so specify input type as a submit. Apply some text with the use of a value and then close your button. Now we just shift to design part. You can see one registration form kind of a concept is ready for us. Okay, now we just first of all save this page. Go back to the designing part. Now what I want is that when I click on a OK button, we are interested to call another page name page 2, and whatever I have written inside in my page 2 will be executed. So to call one PHP page, we required some form action concept. So you write your form code after your body opening, and then write form action. With the use of actions, click on a browse. You are allowed to call another PHP page. So click on a browse, select your particular page. In this program, my second page is page2.php. Click on the OK button. Now then after specify method is equal to post. We discuss about post method concepts later. Right now you just write down this coding. Now we can see that first of all our body part is open, then form and then table. So same way, first of all you just close your table tag, then after after form tag, and then finally the body. So this is what our first page, right? So first of all, just save this page. Now we just shift back to our page 2. When user click on a OK button, whatever I have written inside in my page 2 will be executed. In this page 2 we write our PHP coding. So in between body opening and closing, you just specify your PHP code. I am interested to insert the data in my database table. Again, let's just revisit. I am interested to insert the data in this table, right? So before you can see that my table right now exists in this particular database, Sharma Infoware test database, which is right now exists in this server name localhost. So to reach to particular table, we first of all require to check that our server is connected. Then after we check our databases exist or not, and then finally insert the data. So with the use of a PHP functions, we will first of all check that server is connected or not. So I have some already code. With the use of it, this is what my PHP function MySQL. With the use of this function, we can easily find out that our server is connected successfully or not. So in a bracket, you specify your server name in a first part. In a second name, you specify your username, and in a third part, you specify your server password. Whatever we get the output, it will be assigned to the left hand side variable name link. In PHP, each and every variable start with the $sign. Now our next task is to check out that our database exists or not, right? So for that we write another PHP functions. Okay, with the use of a MySQL DB functions, we can easily find out that whatever database particularly exists or not, right? So in the first part, you just specify your database name, and the second part will contain the database connecting information, like for our local host is connected or not, or server is connected or not. So if these two lines successfully inserted, now our next task is to write our insert query, right? So let's just write our insert query. Now let's just understand our insert query. We are interested to insert the data, so we write our SQL query insert into this part shows us our table name. I just show you my table name, insert data, which is my table name. So after insert into, you specify your table name. In a bracket, you specify your column name. You can see that I am interested to insert the data in a second column and third column. So into the bracket, you specify your column name. Then after values, now we just first of all understand request and T2. We just shift back to our page 1. Now we can see that our text box 1 and text box 2 contain ID T1 and T2. My target is that whatever I have entered in my text box 1, I am interested to place it in this column, what S_F name, and whatever I have entered in my text box 2, I am interested to place it in S_L name. So we just write our code for the T1 text box and a T2 text box in a page2.php. Now why request then T1? So to use the text box 1 or text box 1 value, or to use the HTML controllers value from another page, one page to the another page, at that time we use our PHP variable name request. So whatever I have entered in my first text box, it will be inserted in a first column, and whatever I entered in a T2 text box, it will be inserted in my second column. So this is what my query is. Now our next task is to execute our query and then check that okay, is it executed successfully. Then I am interested to show the output that yes, your data inserted, and if it is not, then I am interested to show that sorry. So we write our query concept, if query concepts. Okay, now we just understand how our query executed. With the use of a MySQL query functions, I have passed my query variable which contain my insert query. You can see that query variable contains my insert query. It will be passed, and if it is executed successfully, then I am interested to show some echo statement that congrats or good. Else, sorry. Okay, so let's just revisit our first page and second page. The first page contains two text box and button. When we click on a OK button, our page 2 will be called. Whatever I have written inside in my page 2 will be executed. First of all, it will check that our local host connected or not. Then it will check that our database exists or not. Then we have write our insert query. Then after it will check query is executed. Then it shows us good. Otherwise, it will show me the sorry message. So let's just run our application and check it. Use browser, specify your path. First of all, we run our page 1. The reason is that the page 1 contains our two text box and one button. So specify your page 1. Write down the data like test 1, test 2, right? Now let's just click on a OK button. But before we click on a OK button, we just switch back to our Dreamweaver and page 1 code part. In a method, I have specified the post. Now what meaning of a post is that when we shift from page 1 to the page 2, at that time, if we are not interested to show our text box data, if we are not interested to display our two text box value in a URL, at that time we place method is equal to post. So let's just check it, is it working or not. So click on the OK button. You can see that URL is changed from page 1 to the page 2, but it's not show me that T1 is equal to test 1 and T2 is equal to test 2. Now you can see good, that means our data is inserted successfully. So let's just revisit our PHP MyAdmin and check it our table. Refresh your database, that means PHP MyAdmin. Select your particular table, click on a browse. Now you can see that test 1 and 2. That means that whatever I have entered in my text box 1 inserted in my second column, whatever I entered in my text box 2 inserted in my third column. So this is how basic PHP operation works. See you in our next video. Bye bye.